Hey gang, it's me, Miss Cotton Candy Kisses, and today is November 6th, and today is my very low calorie day, number 6 also. I have released 1.6 pounds today. Totally excited. I'm going to do my measurements. I haven't done my measurements yet, which I should have done before I started the protocol, but I'm going to do them today. Have no idea how to do them. I bought my measure tape yesterday, so I will take a jab at that and see how well that works out. Hopefully I have better luck at that than in the kitchen. It can't be that hard, right, to measure yourself? I don't know. Yolanda, I will be shooting you an email because you talk about doing your measurements and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so that's exciting. And I ate beef, so it wasn't the beef that stalled me, or I don't even know if you call it a stall for one day. Who knows? So it's all good. I'm gonna do the fish, and then I'm gonna have chicken for dinner. I'm gonna do the fish tilapia, I think it's called. Never had it before, so that will be interesting. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm going to try one of the recipes that one of you have sent me, and we'll see how that works out. And I hope you guys are all doing fabulous on your releasing and on P3. Thank you, like I said yesterday, thank you for all your support and your kind words. It's just awesome. You guys are my HCG family, and it's just nice to have someone that you can turn to and understands you and helps you along the way, you know, that isn't freaked out, because I don't know if I told you guys, when I first heard about this, I was going to go, being who I am, I like to research and stuff like that. I figured I could go to any pharmacy and get my needles, but I didn't know what kind of needles I needed, so everyone talked about the mixing needles, so I went to like 10 pharmacies, and I'm like, I need mixing needles. Can I tell you? Nobody would sell me mixing needles, and they were like, what do you need it for? And like I was a crackhead or heroin addict, and which is kind of funny because obviously if I was, I would not be this size, right? But it was just funny how people judge people and not really knowing. One of the pharmacists at a Walgreens asked me, because I told him I needed the backwater, and he was like, well, what do you need it for? It's a prescription. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. And I said, it's for HCG. And I go, I'm sure you haven't heard of it. And he's like, oh, I have. And he goes, your doctor should be able to prescribe you your needles and everything else you need. And I was like, oh, I'm not going through a doctor. I'm doing it myself. And, well, where are you getting the HCG? And I go, I ordered it online. Oh my God, dude was gonna freak out. like it was crazy. It's funny how small-minded people are. And he was like, you don't know where that HCG is coming from? I'm like, yeah, it's coming from out of the country. And I go, and just for the record, I go, I'm not one of the simple-minded people who think that just because I go to the doctor, the local doctor, that he didn't get his HCG from the same place out of the country, like where I'm getting mine from. I mean, it's very sad that most people don't get it and don't understand how everything works, and it's just, and I just told him, you know, because he was like, that's like buying a stolen car from a car thief that you just don't know what you're getting. And I don't know. I was just like, okay, I really don't need to explain anymore because you don't get it. You're not open-minded to understand it, and that's okay, you know. But like I said, me and my nephew's mom, we went to like 10 places in one day, and everyone turned us down, and they would they would say, well, what do you need it for? One place was a medical supply store, and I told them I was doing B12 shots because I don't really think it's any of their business of really what I need it for. And he was like, well, let me see your B12 prescription. I mean, and so then I asked him, I go, well, it's not against the law to sell needles, right? And he's like, no, it's not against the law. And I'm like, well, it's kind of interesting how everybody wants to know. And I said, and honestly, even if, I mean, it's crazy, but even if I was a heroin addict, which thank God I'm not, never did it, never will. But if I want needles and want to protect myself and use clean needles, I don't understand how, as society, we're so close-minded that we're like, oh no, we're not going to give them to you. We much rather you reuse needles and spread AIDS and whatever else, you know, I mean, infect. And it's just, it's very sad that how society is. Instead of helping people, and like I told one place, I can get them online, and that's not the issue. I just figured I could go through and get them locally. I didn't know it was this forbidden thing. I've seen several of you guys go to Walmart or wherever and get your needles, and I don't know, like I said, I went to 10 different places and they all shot me down, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I don't get it. And like I said, it's just very sad. And when you ask for them, they look at you like, what do you need them for? You know, and several of them did ask, you know, what do you need it for? And the first, like I said, the first time I said the HCG, and the guy like totally freaked out. And so then I was like, okay, I won't say that again. So then the next one, it was just no, you know, and so I thought that was kind of weird. But so I ended up ordering all my supplies online, which took, you know, what, 15 days or whatever for me to get them versus just going into the store and picking them up. I mean, like I said, I just thought that was kind of silly, but it is what it is, and definitely it made me feel like I was this horrible person trying to get my next fix or something. So I don't know, and I mean, whatever. So I was just wondering if any of you guys had horror stories like that, like, you know, did people freak out, you know? I haven't really told a lot of people that I'm on an HCG. I told one of my girlfriends who, she's now doing it, which I talked to you guys about the other day, but she isn't interested in anything that I'm, like, things that I learned from you guys, and then I go and tell her. She just wants to do her own thing, so I'm gonna let her do her own thing. I don't like being around negative people, and I can't handle it because I'm not a negative person. Everything happens in life for a reason, and you know, you just got to go along with it. And so the negative thoughts and stuff like that fester in people, and it spreads. And so I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to let her do her own thing. She calls me or texts me when it's, you know, when she's got something good to say, or I don't know. I just don't want to associate myself. So I am removing myself from that situation. But no one else really knows. My mom knows. She's going to start it with me at the first of the year. That'll be my round 2. Or not the actual first of the year. It will be like day 6 in January or whatever. So it'll be interesting because she's afraid of needles, and I don't know. And I won't be there to do it because she's in Colorado and I'm in Arizona. When I go home for Christmas for a couple, I think I'm going for like 2.5 weeks or whatever, I'm gonna show her and